Hello, my name is Maria Uriarte, and this is my leadership development plan. There are a few things to consider when developing a leadership plan. In my case, I will be talking about some class activities that we did from the book, my personal SWOT analysis, my core values, vision statement, mission statement, and how I plan to implement them in my future. This semester, we were able to do self-insights throughout each chapter where we would take self-assessments and score our answers, where it then would give us our results. By taking these self-assessments, it helped me better understand where I stand as a leader and what I need to continue to help develop my leadership skills. The first half of self-insights that I did were my leadership potential, my LMX relationship, are you ready, the Jung's typology, the emotional intelligence, ethical maturity, and if I am an annoying follower. For Chapter 1, the self-insight that I did was the leadership potential. This self-assessment told me what my leadership potential is. My results said that I had more of management qualities. Although I had more qualities to be in management, I want to help improve my leadership qualities. For Chapter 2, I did the LMX relationship. This self-assessment told me that in my past job, my supervisor clearly had an excellent relationship with me. The LMX theory is about the quality of a leader's relationship with subordinates. Being able to see what I liked about my supervisors or what I disliked can help me in the future to prepare as a better leader. For Chapter 3, I did the Are You Ready assessment. This self-assessment helped me see what my level of readiness was. The assessment suggested that I was very high on the readiness level. I remember reading in the book that very high is level 4, which is for followers who have experience, confidence, and willingness to accept responsibility. In Chapter 4, I did the Jung's typology. This self-assessment showed me what my personality assessment was. My results were ISTJ, meaning introversion, sensing, thinking, and judging. At the end of the self-insight, it showed what characteristics were associated with my results. The results for ISTJ were organizer, trustworthy, responsible, good trustee, and expector. These characteristics are great to have in a work environment or in any future job that I might look into. For Chapter 5, I did the emotional intelligence. This self-assessment helped me determine what emotional intelligence one would be strong in. My results were that I have a good platform for emotional intelligence, but I can still help develop my capability. With time and experience, I can find a way to help improve any element that I may lack in. In Chapter 6, I did the ethical maturity. My final score would determine how on track I am as an ethical leader. After doing the quiz, my score was an 8, suggesting that I have a highly developed moral sense. Your ethical maturity shows who you are as a person. In Chapter 7, the self-insight that I did was, are you an annoying follower? This self-assessment made me realize that anyone can be an annoying follower, but there are ways to improve on not being that annoying follower. For the questions that were asked, there were only a few that I did not choose correctly, but that only means there are better ways to analyze the situation and not become that annoying follower. In Chapter 8, your approach to motivating others. I asked to think of a situation where I was in a formal or informal leadership role in either a group or an organization. In the end, my results was that acceptancy theory. That theory means that I would motivate people by managing expectations. In Chapter 9, the self-insight that I did was, am I networked? Before taking this assessment, I thought to myself that I had a decent network connection. I believe that creating networks with people you work with is a great strength to have. There are many ways that this self-insight made me realize on how to network. Being a leader accomplishes much of their work through networks rather than formal hierarchies. In Chapter 10, I did the individual or team. Before taking this assessment, I tried to remember the past times when I had worked either by myself or in team. Once I took the self-assessment, it suggested that I am satisfied with either working on a team or alone. Being able to work as a team or alone can be beneficial for any job you might have. You never know if you will be on your own or working with others to accomplish something. In Chapter 11, I did the unconscious bias. As it is said in the book, that as a leader, my typical day-to-day behavior sends signals about my biases and values. My score was in between, meaning that I should continue to eliminate my passive and unconscious bias. The sooner I am able to learn to actively include diverse views and people, the better leader I will be. For Chapter 12, I did the Your Leadership Orientation. After taking this self-assessment, my end results showed that I was a structural, meaning that it views the organizations as a machine to operate with efficiency to be successful. In Chapter 13, I did my personal vision. Before taking this assessment, I would have to say to myself that I have some sort of personal vision in my life. I am at the time of life where I should be considering what my vision is, since I will be graduating soon. Although I do think that people's vision changes or modifies as time goes by, my results said that it would indicate that I am in great shape with respect to a personal vision. When it comes to my personal vision, I do believe it is great to have a vision set up once you are beginning to work, but I also believe it will change throughout time as one explores the world. Finally, Chapter 14. The self-assessment that I did was Culture Preference Inventory. My culture preference resulted in involvement culture. Involvement culture focuses on the involvement and the participation of employees to meet changing expectations. Being able to know what your culture preference, you can compare your beliefs with your job or your dream job and see if they are a great fit with you. Something else that I would want to include in my leadership development plan is my philosophy of leadership. My leadership philosophy started when I began attending student leadership workshops during high school. After high school, I was able to add to my leadership philosophy, and I still continue to add more as time goes by. Here are my top 10 philosophies. 1. Support one another. If your coworker is having a tough time completing a work assignment, offer your assistance. Nobody is perfect and at times needs a little push. 2. Learn from your mistakes. Nobody is perfect. People make mistakes, but this is where most learn from. Being able to learn from your mistakes helps people grow and not commit that mistake again. 3. Value communication. In order for a work environment to be positive, having communication is valuable. Be able to ask or imply your questions with your teamwork declines the problems in the workspace. 4. Respect one another. Respecting yourself and others defines who you are. It shows the worthiness of respect and builds trust. 5. Teamwork. A collaborative effort in a group to help achieve a project or a task. Being able to work together, communicate, and inspire each other. 6. Motivation. It is important to have a desire to complete a goal. This desire helps build competition and build connections with others. 7. Contribute. Give or help a person for a good cause and not expect that favor in return. Bring in new ideas to the individual or yourself. 8. Ethical behavior. Being honest to your peers and others around you sets a standard wherever you might be. It helps seek and understand how people actually behave at ethical problems. 9. Integrity. Take responsibility for your own actions. Tell the truth when something goes wrong. 10. Grow together. Accomplish goals and problems together. Don't leave anyone behind just because they don't know what they are doing. Growing together builds a positive environment. There is much more to develop and continue to add to my philosophy. This can be possible by implementing my current philosophy to my current job or my schoolwork. Not only can it be implemented in my current job or schoolwork, but I can practice them on my day-to-day life. The effect that I could have on me would show that I would be setting a positive example for others to look up to and for others to want to practice my philosophy. My journal entries. I believe that these journal entries are great to help see what opportunities there are out there, or which ones you've actually taken or which ones you've missed. In the journal entry 1, an opportunity that I acted on was on a family problem. A great opportunity that I acted on was this family problem that was going on between my mom, my 2 aunts, and another uncle that did not speak to my grandfather and another uncle. My mom and her siblings had heard from friends that my grandfather had passed away, but since they weren't talking, they were unaware of the situation. My mom would ask me for advice on how to figure out if my grandfather had actually passed away. One day, while I was at home, my mom called me during her lunch break. While I was speaking to her, she sounded really stressed and worried. Once I got off the phone, I thought of who I could call or where I could start looking. Knowing that my mom doesn't speak English or understand it, that was the least I could do. I was able to call local funeral homes and try to find out any information if it was true or not. After calling multiple funeral homes and not getting any answers, I realized I was at a dead end. During this whole situation, I would say at first I wasn't sure about calling places and asking, but I knew that it would help my mom and help her not be as stressed. In the end, I felt great that I was able to help my family, at least assure them that he hadn't passed away. In the same journal entry number 1, an opportunity that I missed was a job offer that I had been offered from my past summer internship. I was offered this job position that would result in me staying at home. There were many things I had to consider, but in the end, I decided not to take it. Although as some weeks passed by and with some family problems arising, I decided to stay back home. With that decision of staying home, I decided to go talk to the manager and see if that job position was still open. I went and spoke to her, but she told me that I would have the job, but I would have to start until June. If I would have took that job opportunity, I would have had the opportunity to work and help develop my leadership skills. These type of opportunities happen all around us, but they might just be at the wrong time in our lives. Journal entry number 2. A leadership opportunity that I was able to act on was when my mom and a friend asked me for my opinion on whether they should receive the COVID vaccine or not. They were offering the COVID vaccine, but they were really unsure and not very convinced on getting it, so I decided to do some research and try to convince them. After some weeks, they both decided to get the vaccine. Although the day before, my mom went to the office and asked if I was able to get the vaccine, which later they contacted me saying that I could. On the day of the vaccine, I was able to be with both my mom and my friend, where all 3 of us, received our vaccine. I was positive the whole time and was even the first to get the vaccine from either of them. Deep inside, I was terrified, but I knew that if I showed courage, they wouldn't have been as scared. Another opportunity missed was when my mom was trying to get information on the vaccine. She was able to ask to see if I was able to receive the vaccine. If it wouldn't have hurt me to give my mom's job a call or visit them in person to ask if I would be able to receive the vaccine. By missing this leadership opportunity, I could have asked to see if my dad was able to get the vaccine, since they were already offering it. If I had took this opportunity, it would have encouraged my friends who as well wanted the vaccine to ask and not be scared to ask. Although this wasn't a huge opportunity that I missed out, once you think about it, you tell yourself that you should have just took it. For my journal entry, I went a little bit more back of what opportunities I acted on or missed on. An opportunity that I acted on was in high school. I was still in high school and was a part of clubs. One, to be exact, was the Future Hispanic Leaders of America. I was part of this chapter since my freshman year all the way through my high school year, my senior year. Although as the years passed, the officers' spots would be filled, but not as much involvement would be happening, and it just kept decreasing as time went by. I decided that I wanted to be part of the officers and get more people involved to help grow the club again. And that's what I did. I was elected president since no one else wanted to run for that position. I was very excited to be president. I had so many ideas that I wanted to accomplish. In the end, I couldn't accomplish everything that I wanted to do, but it felt great to know that more members had joined and that I was able to help raise money for them to use in that club. This opportunity that I acted on was a great experience that I will always value. An opportunity missed. To this day, I always ask myself why I wasn't involved in clubs while I was in college, like I was in high school. It's not like I didn't have any time. In high school, I was always involved in various clubs. I always enjoyed being part of something because it kept me busy and I simply enjoyed it. I believe that being involved in clubs is a great opportunity to evolve as a leader. Although to my decisions that I took, I did not get involved in any while I was in college. To this day, I am just a couple weeks away from graduation, and I just wish I would have been a part of a club. Who would have known? Maybe I would have more networks around the state or have learned new leadership qualities. If I could go back in time, I would try and join all the clubs that I could, even if it meant getting out of my comfort zone. Here is my personal SWOT analysis. My strengths consist of honesty, determination, and problem solving. Having these strengths are great when you're looking for a job, or already have a job, or just in general. When looking for a job, you might consider looking at their values to see if they might align with yours. There are many businesses that value their core values. Weaknesses. Some weaknesses or areas of improvement in leadership are taking on too much responsibility, perfectionism, and indecisive. Although they might be weaknesses, they can be beneficial in some job opportunities. Depending on the job you might have, there will always be responsibility to handle, but learning how much or how little responsibility you can take can either be good or bad. For example, let's say I am in a situation where there are too many options to decide from. Instead of having to choose one, you can reach out for help and they can help you make your final decision on those options. Opportunities. Some leadership opportunities that exist for me are that I am always happy to work with anyone. I learn from others who might have a similar role, and online courses to further my education when given the chance. There will always be opportunities around us, but deciding if you should or shouldn't take them all depends on you. Threats. What threatens my leadership development is not having any experience of that task, having a lack of time to meet the deadlines, and losing interest in a project. There will be potential threats around you no matter what. What matters is that how you take those threats. You need to always think positive and find a solution to whatever the threat is. Something that helps my leadership development plan are knowing what my core values are and knowing why they are what I value. 1. Family. They are your support system no matter where you are. They will always be there for you whether it is good news or bad. With your family being by your side, they can help you guide and make the right decision. 2. Careful. No matter where you are in life or what situations you are in, you should be careful. If you make the wrong decision or the right decision, you need to be careful and be cautious of what is going on around you. 3. Dedication. Being able to be committed to the task you were assigned or to the place you are working for is very important. 4. Honesty. Being honest helps avoid you from being involved in a bigger problem. If you aren't honest, this lie will become so big that you will sooner or later regret. 5. Patience. Everyone has different tolerance for patience. There are times where some people just need that extra patience from you. Things can go very badly if you are not patient. 6. Trust. You should be able to trust those that are around you. Without trust, there is no relationship with you or that person. And finally, 7. Commitment. If you are committed to do something or to be committed to someone, you must do what you have promised. When having a leadership development plan, you should be able to state what your vision and mission statement is. My vision statement is to help others with my personal experiences. My mission statement: to listen and help anyone regardless of what their age, race, or culture is. Helping those who haven't had the same opportunities or experiences as me without being asked to. Using my personal experience to help build honesty with others by earning their trust. Now, my implementation plan. The first step to do is create or review your personal analysis. This can include a SWOT analysis, a vision statement, a mission statement, and identifying your current or lacking leadership skills. The first 3 can be updated every 6 to a year. The fourth one, these could be updated every 3 months or before starting a new job. The second step is setting up or updating your personal goals. This could be every week, every month, or every year. And finally, create or review your career vision. This could be done every year or when there is a new job opportunity. There are many things that you can consider when making a leadership development plan. These are just a few that I've learned throughout the semester that have really made me realize there are many things that I still need to work on. Nobody is perfect leader. Becoming a leader isn't something you memorize. It consists of what your personal experience is. It takes time and patience. Just never give up. Thank you.